All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Trailhead X, the first breakout session. Welcome. And we're going to talk about Lightning experience with Visualforce. Do we have any Visualforce developers here? Yeah? A lot of Visualforce developers. And before we start off, the first ever forward-looking statement or the first ever developer conference by Salesforce. So, yeah, so I might make some forward-looking statements, but don't make your purchasing decisions based on that. Make your decisions only based on what's already available. Okay? And the first thing we're going to talk about is the Summer 16 release, where Summer 16 is around the corner. It's almost done. With this weekend, it will be done. And Visualforce and Lightning Experience is generally available with Summer 16. It was in beta with Spring 16, and now it's generally available. It's there. And that's what we're going to talk about now, how to use Visualforce and Lightning Experience. So, if you're already a Visualforce developer, you know where to put Visualforce in the classic user interface. But what about Lightning Experience? How can you use Visualforce inside Lightning Experience, and where can you use it? One of the places is by creating an app and adding it as a tab inside the app and accessing it from the app launcher inside the Lightning Experience. If you're familiar with Lightning Experience, there was this app launcher button at the right top corner, and if you click on it, it'll show all the apps that are there. And if a Visualforce tab is added to the app, it will appear as one of the items, so you can just access it from there. And the next way is to add directly to the navigation menu as a tab. This is also there, so you can just add a Visualforce page, make it a Visualforce tab, and just add it to the navigation menu. And for this, you'll have to create a whole navigation menu and assign it to a profile. And you can add the Visualforce tab as one of the tabs. And the next way is the usual way in which, in the classic UI, you can just add a Visualforce page as part of a standard page layout. And if a Visualforce page is already added to an existing object's page layout, it will automatically appear in Lightning Experience as well. So you don't have to do anything about it there. So just an opportunity detail page which has a section which shows a Visualforce page or a component, it will automatically work in Lightning Experience as well. Okay, and the next way is to use the app builder, the flashy new Lightning builder that we have to build apps using just point and click, drag and drop components. And you can just drag and drop a Visualforce page inside the app builder and make it part of your Lightning page. And the app builder with Summer 16 is also enabled to edit pages inside Lightning Experience. So you can edit home pages, you can edit detailed home pages like opportunity, record pages and stuff using the app builder. And you can include Visualforce in it as well. And we'll see how it's done. And the next way is to add it as a quick action. And if you're familiar with Salesforce One mobile app, you have quick actions. And when a Visualforce page is enabled for Salesforce One and Lightning Experience, which is a checkbox on the page. If it's enabled, then it's available to be added as a quick action in Lightning Experience. And the next way is the usual way, just overriding the standard buttons and links or a custom button, like overriding the new button for a record, like opportunity homepage, you have a new button. In the classic UI, if you have overridden it with a Visualforce page, that works in Lightning Experience as well. It just works. So that's why we say it just works, mostly. There are a few nuances that we'll have a look at, some subtle stuff. And before that, let me just give you a quick demo of adding a Visualforce page in Lightning Components. So I got my Lightning homepage here. I'm going to add a Visualforce page to the opportunity homepage, opportunity detail homepage. So go to opportunities, just click on one of the opportunities. And this is the detail homepage in Lightning Experience. And you would see different design elements here. There's a a sales path over here, and different tabs. This is a bunch of tabs together, and this is the details tab where you have all the details. Your page layout goes inside this. And I can actually add another tab here and add a Visualforce component to it, and then make it a Visualforce tab inside the opportunity detail page. So all I need to do is just go here, click Edit Page, click on Edit Page, and it's going to take me to the app builder directly. So I don't need to build a separate app and add it to the opportunity or something. It takes me directly into the app builder. And I'm going to go here and add a tab here. So these are the existing ones. I'll add another tab. And I'm going to change the label to custom. And let me just call it a Visualforce tab. I'll just say Visualforce. Done. So the Visualforce tab is right there. So if I click on Visualforce tab, I get to add components. So just because it says Visualforce, it doesn't mean I have to add only a Visualforce component. We gave it a name, so we can add anything here. But I'm going to add a Visualforce component to this thing, which is one of the standard components. So I just click, drag, drop. And I get to choose the Visualforce page that I want to add. So I'm going to do VF plus LC, which is a page that I've already created. So I'm going to do that and change the height a little. OK. And save. OK, it's there now. Go back and just need to do one additional refresh to see the change. Let me just refresh it. So yeah, there we have Visualforce tab now, which was previously not there, details, and now we have Visualforce. On the Visualforce page, I just added a chart, which is part of the Visualforce page, and I've also added a little map over here. And we'll get to this in some time, what this is about. But before that, let's talk about a few differences and a few considerations, few best practices when developing in Visualforce for Lightning experience. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so developing for Visualforce experience. So what are the differences? If you are an existing or experienced Visualforce developer, you would know that there is a development footer at the bottom of the classic UI interface. You can just click on the page, make changes, see differences right away. So we don't have that in Lightning experience as of now. And also, the second most important thing is if you do the /apex/Visualforce page name, it will take you back to the classic UI. It will not show you the Visualforce page inside Lightning experience because it's just a URL and it's outside the Lightning domain. So the best way to test anything, the first way is choosing a developer environment. You can either choose the developer console or the Force.com IDE or just the page editor inside the setup. So you can just go there, make changes, and add the Visualforce page as a tab inside an app and use it for your testing. And test a lot because you want your page to work on everything. Make sure you test on the classic UI, make sure you test on the Lightning experience UI, and make sure you test it on Salesforce One Mobile as well. And don't wait till the end. Start testing from the beginning. Keep testing. Don't just build it for just one interface and then modify it later for other interfaces. It will just complicate things. So start testing early. Keep testing on different environments. Okay, so one more important thing is the difference in which a Visualforce page works inside the classic UI versus the new. Visualforce does not own the whole page or the whole window in Lightning experience. In classic UI, it does. It owns the page, and you can use window.location and redirect to any page you want and stuff like that. But in Lightning experience, it doesn't, because Visualforce is, at the end of the day, an iframe inside of the Lightning experience app container. And window.location, don't use it because it won't work. But when you're using inside Lightning Experience, you have the JavaScript utility built in called sforce.1, which was previously available on the Salesforce 1 mobile app, and now it's available on Lightning Experience as well. And it has various utility methods that can be used to redirect pages and do a few JavaScript-related stuff. It's a utility that's built in. You can just use it directly. You can use it for redirection, or you can also use the URL for methods. We'll get to that slowly. And one more difference you'll notice, the Apex page tag has the attributes show header and show sidebar. The default values for them in the classic UI is true, right? But when you come to Lightning Experience, the default value is false. So they're always collapsed when a Visualforce page is accessed inside a Lightning Experience user interface. Same thing accessed in classic user interface, it will be true. It will be false. Sorry, it will be true. Yeah? So these are the differences in the way Visualforce works. And one more important thing is to make sure that your page works based on where the user is right now. The user might be in the classic user interface. He might be in Lightning Experience, or he might be using it from the Salesforce on mobile app. And you might want to modify your page, a few things inside your page maybe, based on where the user is right now. And for that, we have a few utilities to detect where the user is. That is through the global variable $user.ui theme and the $user.ui theme displayed. $user.ui theme just gives the preference of the user, what the user prefer as his default user interface. And $user.ui theme displayed gives the current context. Like he might have preference, but he might have moved to something else. Right, so that you'll get the user's current UI theme by using UI theme displayed. We have equivalent methods in Apex code as well, get UI theme and get UI theme displayed. And you can access the get UI theme or the UI theme value from API or SOCL as well, though it's not recommended, but it's there. You can still access it, but you would only get the preference. You would not get the current value from the API or SOCL. So that's that. And this is a little difference of the values returned by UI theme or UI theme displayed. So if it says theme 1, it's the age-old 1999 Salesforce UI theme. And theme 2 is the older classic, and theme 3 is the present classic UI, which is not exactly present, but it's the present classic UI, right? And theme 4D is Lightning Experience, and theme 4T is Salesforce 1. And portal default is Customer Portal, and Web Store is App Exchange theme. Okay, so now we have detected it. Now, one more important aspect of a web application is navigation, right? So in Visualforce, you have this page reference class or object available, which you can use to redirect pages. Just add a page reference and redirect to that. That will work by default. It's one of the things that just works. But you should also consider modern navigation techniques like JavaScript navigation and stuff like that. And just like I mentioned previously, don't ever use window.location because it won't work in Lightning Experience. And don't use static URLs as well because it might take you back to the classic UI. So instead, use URL for, and which can redirect you to various actions for standard actions. And you can also use the sforce1 JavaScript utility that I was previously mentioning, right? So this is like one example, sforce1 navigate to S object, just give the record ID, it will go to the S object, or it will just show the S object once the navigation is done. Just click on a button or something like that. Okay, we're done with navigation, detection, and the last but most important thing in these days is styling, design. a Visualforce page when accessed in Lightning Experience, and if it uses the standard style sheets, which is the default preference, it'll look the same. It'll look the same as it was looking in classic UI. And if you want to modify it, you should consider using the Lightning design system. And if there is an existing Visualforce page and it's not very critical, don't worry about it, because the Lightning Experience UI is still evolving, and there might be an evolution which will let you automatically change the styles. And if it's a critical page and it has it's user-facing and customer-facing, and it's used mostly, consider using the Lightning design system. And also, when you're creating new Visualforce pages, consider using the Lightning design system again. Right? What else? What else should you consider? So, like I mentioned, the header in the classic UI, the header and sidebar are there by default. In Lightning Experience, they're collapsed by default. And in Lightning Experience, the header and the sidebar can't be collapsed like it can be done inside the classic UI. The header and side navigation menu will always be there. There's no way to disable them. Okay, and don't use iframes inside your Visualforce pages, because the page itself is an iframe inside Lightning Experience, and we don't want to complicate things with nested iframes and stuff like that. Okay, and if you have any Visualforce components added to the classic UI's homepage, they won't automatically work in the Lightning UI, Lightning Experience homepage, but you can still add, you can just edit the homepage just using the edit page like I did for the opportunities. You can just edit it and then add your Visualforce components, like I did it for the opportunity detail page. And Apex related list tag, it's not supported for all the objects. You have to make sure that that particular standard object is supported inside the Lightning Experience. So we keep extending support for objects, and once that object is supported, the related list will also be supported. Okay, so that is that. And so that was about using Visualforce inside Lightning Experience. But Lightning Components is a thing, right? It's our new technology. It's our way ahead as well. What if you want to include a Lightning component inside Visualforce? It was previously not possible, now it is. And you can include Lightning components inside Visualforce using a Lightning Out feature. Anybody heard of Lightning Out? Yeah? So we're using the same mechanism. Actually, it's the same feature that we're using to let Lightning components be a part of or be inside a Visualforce page. Right? So it involves 3 steps how to do that. The first step is to include this little tag called Apex include Lightning, or like in Lightning Out, you can just directly include the JavaScript, which is Apex include script Lightning Out JS, just one line. Just have to put either that or this. So that's the first thing. And the next thing is to create a Lightning app, which we call a Lightning Dependency App. So this dependency app does nothing but declare the dependencies on components inside a Visualforce page. Like for example, you want to add Lightning components in a Visualforce page, and you want to add like one particular Lightning component. And so that component should be added as a dependency inside the Lightning app, and then that dependency has to be referenced inside a Visualforce page, so that a Visualforce page knows which components to pick. All right? So all the components should be declared as dependencies, and then only they can be used. So this is a step where you create the dependency app and reference it using $lightning.use. So this is a function that you use inside the Visualforce page. And once you do that, the next step is to include the component, and that is done through $lightning.create component, and there's that function right there. It takes the type, object, the attributes of the component, and where it should appear on the Visualforce page, and a callback function. Once the Lightning component is created, what should happen? This is, if you're familiar with Lightning components, this is similar to $a.create component function. And but only difference is you have to mention where it should appear on the Visualforce page, which particular location. So that can be done through DOM locator. And this is a very simple, extremely simple sample of including. All I did is just included a UI button, right? I don't even need to directly put it inside a component use. I can just directly use the UI component, which is available with Lightning Components. So that's what I did. If you look at it, after Apex page, I have a line Apex include Lightning. And I have a div element with an ID. I'm going to use this as the location, right? So this is where my Lightning component is going to be there. Okay, and in my script, Lightning use and C:\lcvf test. So that is the dependency app I've created. And it will have a callback function, which will have the lightning.create component function, which creates the component inside it. And this is where you give the component name and the label, what should it say, which is an attribute. Attributes are passed as an object, JavaScript object. And the value and a callback function. Okay. Now we're going to look at a demo of how this is done in a real scenario. So if you remember, I was talking about this little thing over here. Okay, so this is a Visualforce page that we just added a few minutes back, and it has a map here. This is actually a Lightning component that I've included inside this Visualforce page. And let's see how it's done. So right now we have a Lightning Experience UI in which we have Visualforce page, inside which we have another Lightning component. So that's the magic we've done. So I go under Developer Console. Let me just make it full screen. Yeah, so this is the page. So I've reduced the code to make it look simple. I'm using Visualforce components here, and in the components is where I'm doing the stuff. So the first part is the chart, and the second part is the Lightning component. And the chart is this. So it's just using the Visualforce charting feature, Apex chart title, and getting it from a controller that I have here, chart controller. That's not really important here. You can see static data that we have filled up. Okay, so that's the chart. And the second part is the Lightning component, right? So the map. So what I've done here is Apex, instead of Apex include Lightning, I did Apex include script value equals lightning out JS. So this is the same as Apex include Lightning. It's just that it's a more generic way of doing it if you do it outside a Visualforce page. Because Lightning out lets you use Lightning components in any application outside Salesforce. Right, so this is what you do there. You can do it here as well, or you have a shortcut of directly using the Apex include Lightning component. Right, and I have a div here, and that is where I'm going to put my Lightning component, and the script Lightning use, and the dependency app is passed in. The function to create the component is passed in with the component name, and data is the attribute object that I'm passing in, and you can see it here. No, this is not the one. Yeah, so data is the attribute that has been passed, so that will be passed from here, right? So I'm just passing a blank object here. So it's going to take that. So you're giving it attributes, giving the name of the component, and the ID of the div tag where it should be appearing. So that's going to result in this. Yeah, so that's going to result in this component. So I'm using an existing component. I haven't created the component. It's a component that I've got from the App Exchange. So I just included the App Exchange component inside my Visualforce page, and it appears like this. Right? So this is how you add a component inside a Visualforce page. Now we saw how to create a Visualforce page inside Lightning Experience and how to include a Lightning component inside Visualforce. And let's do a little more talk about Visualforce and Lightning. So we will support Visualforce for the long term. It is there, it's not going anywhere. But Lightning is the future. Lightning is the future of technology. And our desktop application and our mobile application, everything is on Lightning right now. And we use Lightning extensively. But your Visualforce customizations will be there. And if you want to look at a strategy for blending into Lightning Experience, so we have a little matrix for you. Okay. Some display issues there. Okay. So what should your approach be if you are Okay, so if you're using a Visualforce page and it's low usage, so that's one example. Don't worry too much about modifying anything. Just wait for the evolution. And if you have a lot of JavaScript inside Visualforce, if you use JavaScript functions inside Visualforce instead of the Apex controllers, consider restyling it with the Lightning Design System. And if it's a Visualforce page used in a mobile application on Salesforce 1, so try componentizing it, like include a Lightning component inside a Visualforce page instead of the Visualforce markup, right? And use Lightning Design System. If it's medium usage, try componentizing it, restyle it. And if it's for mobile, try converting it into Lightning components, because Lightning components are mobile first, right? And if it's high usage, try converting it to Lightning components with the design system. Right, and a little strategy for new development for your business requirements. Pick a few majorly important, the most critical functionality, the most critical features, and try to develop them using Lightning Experience, so, Lightning components. And also your existing Visualforce inventory. Don't move everything to Lightning. Just pick the most important ones and then start your evolution along with the Lightning Experience. Okay, so that's what I have today, and we have some time to take questions. Any questions, please? Yes.
Do you have any recommendations for easily converting or migrating all the Apex tags, like Apex input?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do everything over to Lightning now. Specifically, this would be used in a cross-platform for community or partner portal users,
Mm-hmm.
as well as production that are already on the Lightning experience.
There is no technique or tool for doing that. It's just have to pretty much rewrite. Sorry. So yeah, sorry. The question is, do you have any strategy or techniques to convert existing Apex tags to Lightning components? So there is no straightforward technique for that. You just have to pretty much rewrite it.
All right, I'm happy with that.
Yes. So locker service basically locks up the component and stops it from using other parts of the DOM. right? So it pretty much happens with Visualforce as well. If it's inside a Visualforce page, the component will pretty much be locked up. Yeah.
So in that scenario, you had like a lightning component, and you had Visualforce, and then another lightning component inside the Visualforce.
Yeah.
So how do events work in that situation? Do they just work?
You mean, so his question was, how do events work in a situation where I have a Visualforce component inside that I have a Lightning component? So do you mean the Lightning component events? Yeah, so they just yeah. It will be default behavior, so once a component fires an event, Visualforce can handle it. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
If I'm having a combination of users which are using Classic as well as Lightning Experience,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned that there are two things basically we shouldn't be using, like location.anywhere. So we can see what kind of UI the user is using at the moment. So as a best practice, is it to change the UI and based on that change the code, or we can have, or as a best practice, we should have two copies of Visualforce page, one is the Lightning Experience and one is the Classic Experience.
The best practice, yeah, so his question is, what is the best practice when you have users using both Classic and a Lightning experience? So having multiple pages is not a best practice, and have a Visualforce page and have just parts of it re-render based on where the user is. Yeah, not the whole thing, but just parts of it. Yes? We have a very good question here. RS controls support in Lightning experience. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so. Anything else? Any other questions? All right, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy yourself tomorrow as well. Welcome to Trailhead X.